This episode of What the Tech is brought to you by IT Pro TV, an easy, entertaining approach to online IT training. Visit itpro.tv/what-the-tech and use the code WTT30 for a free 7-day trial and 30% off the lifetime of your account. Casper, an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price, because everyone deserves a great night's sleep. Get $50 off any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/Andrew and enter promo code Andrew at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. And by Hover. Find a domain name for your idea. Go to hover.com/WTT and get 10% off your first purchase. Again, that's hover.com/WTT. Hover, domain names for your ideas.
What the tech?
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Tech. I'm Major Jan, and I am not joined by Paul throughout this week. Paul is at Build, but I have a perfectly suitable guest for the show, and it's the one, the only, Mr. Stevie Richards. How you doing, Stevie?
I'm doing great. We both wore sleeves, so hopefully
there
won't be any trolling after this episode.
But did you see the new one, the new hatred? I got a very hateful email from a Phillies fan that hates the New York Mets.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, so he said, "Stop advertising that stupid team. I hate the Mets." So today I'm wearing my Mets hat backwards. So that's the look we're going with.
Yeah,
today.
but you have National League on the side. So what if somebody is a fan of the American League? What are you going to do?
I may upset him too. He may be very offended by my hat. So it's okay. We can't win them all. We can't. Guys,
the Mets definitely can't win them all.
Listen, Les, they've been doing all right. Not bad. They're okay right now. They're It's still pre All-Star break. So
And the Phillies are not much better.
No. We both feel the same pain. Stevie's here with me to talk about tech. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff that we're using currently. I like doing these episodes with Stevie because we like to talk about the things that we use in real world usage. We use technology very similarly, where we don't stay loyal to a brand just because it's a brand. We use it because we genuinely enjoy the products, and sometimes we buy things that we're not happy about, and we talk about it, which we're going to do that today. I want to talk about the MacBook Pro that I've been using. You have one too, which I want to talk about.
Yes, using it. We're both using them right now for the show, right?
We are both using them for the show, and I want to talk about the Amazon Echo Show and who it's really intended for. All this and more. Before we continue, I want to talk about our sponsor, and that's IT Pro TV. Now, Stevie, you checked them out. You weren't familiar with them until a couple hours ago, and you were playing around with it. And I know that you're constantly trying to relearn things and expand your knowledge, especially in technology. You're always taking courses. You're always doing these things. And this is something great that, as someone that likes to learn like you, and someone that likes to learn like me, they have an endless array of different types of courses you could take. From ethical hacking to Windows Server to Photoshop, intro to JavaScript. I'm doing a lot of Lightroom and Photoshop now with this new job that I'm working on. And I am not illiterate with Photoshop, but I have the most basic knowledge. Stevie, you do Photoshop all the time. So
no, I'm with you. I use Affinity Photo, which is actually kind of like not a beginner's version, but it's a little bit less complicated and complex than Photoshop. So I'm right there with you. I would need something like this. And I looked at this. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to sound like an old man. We live in an amazing time. Back when I went to school, because I went to school for Microsoft networking and all that stuff back in '98. You had to go to class. You had to go to class 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And who retains that? It's so boring to be able to go in there and retain anything. I love online courses. I'm taking my real estate course online, and these interactive IT training courses that you're looking at right now is great. So I would assume. I don't want to make the comparison. Maybe they don't like that, but this is a much more of a technology centric or what you would say someone who wants to go into a technology career centric site, like it's the lynda.com for people that want to go into IT and technology based careers.
And the quality of their content is awesome. If anybody was a fan of the screensavers, you could kind of see their influence with this, with the way that they deliver the content. It's very easy to learn. You know, it's not intimidating. Some of the courses may be intimidating because they're advanced courses, but you can start from the beginning. It's literally going to school and not dedicating the time or the money, actually, that it would if you were to take go to a school like you did training for years. They have a bunch of great stuff. They offer over 2,000 hours of content and more than 30 hours added a week. You can watch it whether you're on your laptop or your Amazon Fire TV or a Roku or a Chromecast or an Apple TV. You can watch it pretty much on every single type of platform. I'm really, really interested in the Photoshop stuff and the Lightroom stuff. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know as much as I should, and this is going to be a huge help for me in my career. You could have multiple, they have multiple different types of membership. They have the free basic membership that gives you access to all their live content. You get the standard membership that gives you access to the entire course, and they have the premium membership, which includes the benefits of the basic and the standard, but you also get access to over 100 step-by-step virtual labs. I know Paul started a course. He told me he had started one, and he's been traveling, so we're going to talk about that next week. But some of the clients include Harvard, MIT, and Stanford, and much more. IT Pro TV, itpro.tv/what-the-tech. Use the code WTT30 and get a free 7-day trial and 30% off the lifetime of your account. I want to thank IT Pro TV for supporting What the Tech. So where do you want to begin with this? Let's talk about the MacBook Pro for a second, because you have one in front of you. I have one right here in front of me. It's been a up and down battle for me. There are many aspects of this device that I genuinely like, and there are a lot of things that I genuinely hate about it, and I've never felt like that when it came to another Mac product. I've always seen the flaws. I mean, I have actually still to this day, my favorite Mac is the 13-inch MacBook Pro. Still, this 2015 MacBook Pro is still my favorite one. There is a lot of bells and whistles, some done well, some not done so well. What is your opinion of this? Because we haven't even spoken about this. I know that you've been interested in buying one, but I had no idea what your opinion of this is.
Well, one of the most popular videos I put up on my YouTube channel was why I bought a 2012 Mac Mini in 2016. It has almost 300,000 views. So there's an interest in this this crossroads that Apple's at, going from the standard ports that your MacBook Pro that you just showed, the 2015, with all the major ports, talking about HDMI, mini display ports / Thunderbolt 2. The SD card slot, standard USB 3.0 ports, and now converting over to 2016, 2017 to either two. Either they're going to come out with a model with no ports. But trust me, I think
if they could get away with it, I guarantee there would be no ports and it would all be glass. There would be no trackpad, nothing. It would just be glass.
It's called an iPad.
It's called an iPad.
Which, by the way, the iPad Pro is actually more powerful than the 2016 12-inch MacBook.
The iPad Pro, wait a minute, the iPad Pro is more powerful than which one? The Mac Pro? The MacBook?
The 12-inch MacBook, definitely the 2015. 2016 had some improvements on it. The only advantage for that, just on a side note, would have been you can't do Final Cut Pro 10 in the way of syncing audio to video, which is a major thing for me, along with multicam work now in Final Cut Pro 10.
Yeah. And
that's going to tie into why I got this laptop that's in front of me. But Thunderbolt 3, it's an amazing technology that's well now ahead of its time. And that's the bad part, because what I tried to do was I have two monitors here and I have a TV here that I was able to hook the Mac Mini up to in order to do Final Cut Pro 10, have a big screen for viewing and multicam edits. I'm having a great deal of difficulty finding anything that can really hook up to a minimum of two displays with this laptop.
Yeah.
Right now, one is fine because that's what I'm looking at right now. There's a great hub with an HDMI port, but either it works or it really, really doesn't work at all. Do you agree?
And that seems to be the problem. So I'll give you an example. Like when we, Paul doesn't necessarily think that the dongles are that much of a problem. And, we were talking off the air and he goes, you know what, Andrew, for the first time, I was like, yeah, this is a little bit of a pain in the butt to carry all these different dongles. So right here, I just bought another one because the one that I had bought here, which is actually really nice, it kind of sits flush to it, didn't have an Ethernet port. And I needed an Ethernet port. So now I had to buy this one, which has USB and Ethernet only. The problem is some USB doesn't fit properly on this. I'll give you an example. I have a USB cable here. Okay? Does not go in. Explain to me how this is possible, that this USB cable will not go in.
That's very strange.
Very strange.
Is that a 1+1 charging cable?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm such a nerd.
It is.
I knew it once I saw it.
It doesn't fit in, and I couldn't believe it. So you will face issues like this, and that's not necessarily Apple's problem. That's a design issue from whoever's making these third-party apparel. But that issue exists. The other issue was that I had this one that I have here that I don't use anymore killed my 2016 MacBook Pro. Brand new, 3 days out of the box.
And that's one of the more popular ones on Amazon, isn't it?
This is one of the
one you're holding.
Yep, and this is the one that I wrote a 1-star review, and the company contacted me, and they were not very happy with my review about this.
Well, I mean, and now you're even because you weren't happy with them destroying your laptop.
Yeah. I mean, luckily it was 3 days into having a device, and I just went to Apple, and Apple just swapped it out for another one. But the more you add on, the more issues that you potentially could face. And I'm not big on carrying a bunch of stuff with me. I leave this one at home and I take this one in my bag, but what if I need an Ethernet thing and I forgot this? So it's a little complicated. I get why they're doing it. I don't necessarily agree that, an SD card slot in this MacBook Pro, which is a Pro device, removing it is critical to the size of this device.
No, I agree. I would say that I also made another video why I'm going old school, much for the reasons I said I was holding out for a big sale with the 2015 MacBook Pro. I wanted to get a 15-inch quad-core i7 because it's the closest thing to having a desktop that I could find for video editing. We'll go with the Final Cut Pro 10 will be a theme with that because it really does take advantage of the video editing capabilities of that app and the hardware along with that for Apple. The thing that I ran into changing my mind from not getting the 2015 and actually pulling the trigger on this one is, number one, the 2015 prices didn't come down at all. As a matter of fact, they kind of came up in the used market. They were higher. They were like a gold standard. That just proved that a lot of people really rejected the removal of the ports. But as I was going on and looking, there was a lot of people doing these Final Cut Pro 10 tests, and they were doing, instead of your 5-minute videos at 4K, a couple of them did 20 and 30-minute long, say, documentaries. Like my workout videos are 20 to 45 minutes long.
Sure.
And they said that the video, or should I say the rendering and the export, which is important with Final Cut Pro 10, this one stayed much cooler than the 2015 for longer. It had very little, if no, thermal throttling on the 2016 model.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the fans didn't kick up anywhere near as much, if at all.
So let me ask you: Do you have a 15? Do you have an i5 and an i7 on the?
Well, I have a 15 quad core i7, 16 gigs of RAM, and I got the 2 gig dedicated video card. The 4 gig was much. I got a refurb. This was $2,039 refurbed off Apple's website. So I thought that was a hell of a deal. It's usually, I think it started out at like $24.99 or something like that, and free 2-day shipping. They charge tax, but everybody's doing that now. So I saw that for that being a deal when the 15-inch was over $1,800 at Best Buy. I mean, the 2015 15-inch. I'm like, well, I mean, God, we're talking about $300 here after tax. That's really not a big jump. Plus, I really do believe they're gonna support this. They even had a warranty exchange on the first generation Apple Watch for the battery, which is almost 3 years old now. So if there's any issues that arise on a recall level, I really do believe they're going to support this laptop after Apple Care's even expired. So
I'm actually really surprised that you went with this one, considering how you like the 2015, and I do too. I got it because my employer got it, and it's playing with house money at that point, right? So they offered and I took it. But it's interesting because right now I'm in the weird spot where I've never been loyal to Apple. I use it because I actually like the UI, and I'm used to it at this point, and I like the devices. But I have to tell you, the PC market has evolved so much over the last 2 years where if you're buying it just for the aesthetics, just for the overall look, which a lot of people do. A lot of people buy Macs just because they like the design of it, but not because of any other reason. You know what? Guess what? It's really not... It's not a huge selling point anymore because everybody is making great-looking PCs.
I agree with that. And there's an Apple tax, obviously, $2,039 for something that I think you can get on the Windows side for probably $1,200, maybe a little more. Dedicated video card. Some of those laptops on the Windows side, do they still have the ability to upgrade the RAM yourself and also switch out the video card? I think there's some that are modular to that, like an Alienware or MSI.
Yeah. Those, no, they still, MSI does it, Dell does it, Alien.
You can swap out the SSDs on it. You could do a ton of stuff with those gaming laptops, especially. Why I didn't, I would not say that I'm Apple loyal, but I'm sure as hell Mac developer, I'll say it right, developer loyal. Final Cut Pro 10 and a lot of these Mac apps just give me such a great experience. I'll give this example for anybody. I'd love to learn Premiere. I love to learn Premiere for my editing. I'd like to get the Adobe suite, and use all that Photoshop, InDesign, everything within the suite. But I don't want to spend money on the subscription-based model that they have. I would rather just. I wish I could have kept CS 5.5 or CS 6.
You're not a fan of the Adobe because I'm going to tell you, it's come really useful because I only wanted to do Photoshop, but now I'm using Lightroom all the time.
Well, I just look at the pricing. I paid $299 for Final Cut Pro 10. It's been out for many years. I don't even know how many, and every update has been free. The usability has come back since the first gen when everybody left it with multicam going out and all that stuff. But I just find fun, and that I keep talking about Final Cut Pro 10, but I do a lot of video editing for tech reviews. I use ScreenFlow a lot for screencast and voiceover stuff. I love using GarageBand. There's an app called Loopback, which brings in all the audio when I want to play clips on a podcast. And going back to Final Cut Pro 10, I use that for also the workout videos for multicam and all that stuff, and things that are just much more efficient than trying. And Premiere might be better in a lot of ways, but I really don't have the time either to relearn the whole video editing
and that's part of the problem. Yeah,
unless you go to itpro.tv.
Unless you go to itpro.tv and you relearn it over there, which they make it very easy. But yeah, I totally get it, and that's kind of why I've stuck to what I use. But the brand loyalty, like that Microsoft, that Surface, the laptop, it's a nice looking laptop that they just put out. All those HPs that we're seeing come out, those Spectre 360s and the HP Elite series. Beautiful laptops that are out. So for a lot of people, if they're buying it for the aesthetics, which is a reason why people get it, that's not the selling point. Right now, the selling point should be the operating system and the software and what you're used to.
Well, you made a point. I do listen to your show because I'm gonna requote when you talked about the confusion with the software that's coming along with that new Surface and how it's going to confuse people that they're not going to be allowed to do stuff and then they have to pay $49 or $50 for the upgrade.
Right now, it's free. The upgrade is going to be free for now.
Okay, but that wasn't communicated. There was some confusion on that because you guys thought there was going to be a charge.
And it seems like, you know what? And I was very surprised by this because a lot of times if I say something negative, I'll get the backlash from people saying, well, they'll defend it. There are people that unapologetically defend certain things on either side, right? But I was very surprised that I got no pushback from people when I said this is a mess. When you put out a premium device for $1,000 and it is not coming with full-fledged Windows, it's coming with Windows 10S, which is not Windows to most people, you are going to have a problem because most people do not know what Windows 10S is. They don't care to know what Windows 10S is. They only know Windows. That's all they know.
I thought they would have learned their lesson with RT.
I thought so too. I mean,
it was so weird. It's even more stripped down than RT from what I've seen. Well, not really. I'd take that back. See, I'll get the backlash.
No, it's not.
I think about it.
Yeah, you had RT.
I had a Nokia tablet, and it definitely was stripped down. So no, they somewhat did, but you shouldn't strip it down at all. They have differentiated themselves from Apple to say, Xbox, Windows, RT, all this stuff is supposed to be ubiquitous across all platforms as one platform, correct? Continuum.
Yeah.
And what's the whole word for everything merged together? Is that continuum or is it something else?
Continuum is how you pick up one device and you could do it. You could
do like handoff, but there's an overall.
It's the universal. The universal Windows, the UWP.
Yeah. So why is this Windows S kind of coming out and they're sort of like they were always against, and I'm against it too. I think the iPad Pro can run Mac OS. I really do. It's powerful. It's more powerful than that MacBook, but they're stuck on the iOSification there. That's the word, of trying to turn Mac into that as well. So Windows should be making everything a full-fledged Windows device instead of incorporating that.
I don't know why, I do know why actually, but I don't think this message. The messaging of Windows 10S and Windows 10 Pro and Windows 10 Home are different things. And even though it's a free upgrade, people don't understand that. You're buying this for... Joe Schmo goes in and buys a laptop. And we're kind of in the tech world. You, myself, Paul, and the people watching this. We're all in the know. We kind of keep up with this stuff. You think the guy that doesn't really care, he's still using his computer from 2009, that decides he wants to buy this thing, or he's buying it for somebody else, or whatever the case may be, he goes and buys this, and he comes home and he tries to install Skype, or he tries to install Chrome, and it tells him that he can't. Do you think he's going to turn around and say, well, it's because I got Windows 10S on here, or he's going to say, well, Windows 10 sucks, I can't even install Skype on it? Most likely he's going to say, Windows 10 sucks, I can't install Skype on it. He's not even going to fathom the idea of, I could upgrade this, or he's maybe not even, he doesn't want to upgrade it. He just wants it to work the way it's supposed to.
I totally agree. That's why Chromebooks exist. That's why the iPad is so successful, because people can do all that stuff and it just works. And it's on a very simplistic level for web, email, the occasional FaceTime or video chat, but not much else. And that's why those products exist. So they need to be careful people don't have that backlash. Well, the backlash is good, because then you can answer the customers that are complaining and fix the problem. But when they return the product and then buy another one, yeah.
And the tweets go and say, "Don't buy it. Windows 10 sucks." That's a major problem because a lot of people are not in the know. They're not going to websites like TheRot.com and The Verge and reading up on this stuff. It's a very interesting discussion to have. I want to continue this, but before we do, I want to talk about our sponsor, and that's Casper. Save an additional $50 towards a mattress purchase by going to Casper.com/Andrew and entering the promo code Andrew. I got a bad back. Stevie knows this. I have 4 herniated discs. Thanks to Stevie, I did some yoga, and it actually corrected some of the issues. Don't look at me now. I'm a little out of shape right now, Stevie, and I know you're going to judge me on this.
You had a kid. I mean,
I had a kid. I got a little break here, but I'm starting to get back into it. But to be honest, there were 2 things that changed everything. One, doing the yoga and dropping the weight. It was a major change in my day-to-day functioning. I got, 4 discs in my back. I need to get a fusion in my back. I'm banged up, as they say. But the best thing that I did, other than the yoga and dropping the weight, was getting a new mattress. I had gone to the store when my back problems started, and I spent thousands of dollars on a very high-end mattress. Premium brand mattress. This thing was like the Bentley of mattresses. Spent a bunch of money, and I went into the store, this mom and pop. It was a big chain store, big box, not a mom and pop. They laid me on the bed, and they did this whole measurement, and they said, well, your back is a 3, but your legs are a 5, and they did some calculation. They sold me this mattress. I have to tell you, every day I cursed at myself because this mattress made my back worse. When Casper came around and said, hey, Andrew, we want to advertise on What the Tech, I got the mattress. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Initially, I went into this thinking, you know what, this would be a great mattress for my guest room. Within a day, I had this thing, they sent a king-size mattress, so within a day, I redid my entire bedroom, I set this mattress up, and I've been sleeping unbelievably. Even with 2 kids, I'm sleeping unbelievably because of Casper. This is a product I sleep on every single day. I speak to you with experience. My mother-in-law has bought one. My mother-in-law bought one. My wife's aunt bought one just because of my experience. And you should try it out. They have an unbelievable 100-night sleep guarantee where you can sleep on this thing for 100 nights. And if you hate it, no hassle. You could return it right back to them. Casper.com/Andrew. You get $50 off towards your mattress by going to Casper.com/Andrew and using the code Andrew. Let them know we sent you. Tweet them. They're great people, and it's unbelievable how much this company's grown. Not only do they have mattresses, they have beddings, they have pillows, they sell the foundations now. One-stop shop. Casper.com. I want to thank Casper for supporting the show. You should get a Casper.
Yeah, I actually reached out to them to review that. I figured it'd be interesting. Someone who broke their neck and did all that stuff.
You know what?
And,
I will put you in touch with somebody.
Thank
Seriously.
you. That's what I was hoping you would say.
I
That's
will
why
100%.
I put you on the spot. Now these mattresses, have they been tested by cats?
I don't know, but my dog sleeps on mine. You know, you got a baby stroller behind you.
It's a cat stroller.
It's a cat stroller with a cat in there.
Yes, Mia is in there right now.
Yeah, big mean Stevie Richards, professional wrestler, fitness, walking around with his cat in there. Unbelievable. You know what? I will like to find out. I think they have a dog bed, to be honest.
That's pretty cool.
I could be making that up.
That's a great niche for them to get into.
Maybe I'm making that up. Let's find out, actually. Let's look on this. This is not part of the advertising, but I am curious about if they have a dog bed, because somebody told me that Casper has a dog bed. Oh, they do.
Dog mattress.
Look at this. This could be a cat mattress.
My dogs I have 2 dogs too.
That's actually amazing. And it's a beautiful mattress.
That is nice.
Yeah.
The cats would actually, Mia would take that. Like, my cats sleep on the dog bed.
That's
and the
awesome.
dogs sleep on the floor.
Yeah, my poor dog is kicked out of his bed. That's actually awesome that they have that. I want to talk to you about your issues with Sony.
Oh, wow.
What happened? So I have to tell you, I have a PSN account, and I've had nothing but trouble with my PSN account because I had an old account, and things go missing from my account on a regular basis, to the point that I stopped using my PlayStation because I got so frustrated with it.
Well, I've had trouble with it beyond. I don't know if you saw the video I put up on YouTube. I was pretty taken back, first of all, that so many people watched it and commented that they had the similar experiences of I had and what you're having. Maybe not exactly, but the accounts are being compromised. I know there's a big story about these sites that are reselling accounts, and they're kind of conflicting with people. I bought mine officially from the console. I renewed mine on the console in the PSN store, so not much chance of that part being true. But about 8 or 9 months ago, I started getting locked out of my account almost like clockwork every 30 to 31 days.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
was it during a billing cycle?
No, I don't. I looked at that. No, it was. Well, I prepaid for the year, so no, it wasn't. I don't get billed every month, so I always prepay for the online memberships, which is a pain point now because it expires on October 18th. So I had to kind of eat a few months of it. So basically, every time I would do it, it happening is annoying.
Yeah.
But when you have to spend the whole day to 2 days on hold or in live chats or getting in touch with them to finally get it reset properly, and then it happens again the very next month, and then the next month, and then the next month, and there's no resolution. You're doing 2-factor authentication too. I am, meaning me. So it's a mystery. I changed my email login as well as the password. Still happened. So finally what I did was I bought I traded in my PS4. I bought an Xbox One S from Costco because Project Scorpio is coming out, and Costco has a very, very liberal return policy. So I'm using this as kind of the console for now.
For now, yeah.
And basically what I did was my customer service experience was, I said, okay, well I'm gonna go on live chat, and that didn't work. I went on the phone call. Did that. After it happened 2 or 3 times, I said, I'm going to tweet Ask PlayStation and see what the deal is. So I was like, I asked him, I go, I'm having a lot of trouble. You guys need to help me. Please help. I'm getting locked out of my account.
And you also getting that little check next to your Twitter doesn't hurt either, right?
Well, guess what? They to this day still haven't answered my tweets.
No.
And I watched their timeline as they were answering other people in the same strain as me. So yeah, that was fascinating to me. So finally, I did the video why I left PS4 for Xbox One. It's up to about 69,000 views now with a lot of comments. So there's a lot of interaction and people talking about this. And I find that to be, wow, this is a bigger problem than even I realized. And you never told me you had issues either. So it's insane. So finally I did the video, and then about 2 weeks later, I got a call from Sony. They left me a message when I was down in Florida on vacation. So I called them about 2 or 3 hours after that. This guy, Anthony, was a really nice guy. He was like, we wanted to reach out and see how we can help and everything. And I said, well, man, I already traded in my PS4 and I did. And he was like, oh, okay. He goes, I said, I'm curious. Why are you calling me? I've never gotten a call like this before. And he goes, well, one of our executives saw your tweet, probably to the video, and he wanted me to reach out to you. And he goes, well, how can we make this better? And I said, well, I'm not exactly sure, because I traded in my PS4. I had to buy another console. I'm losing out on the online part of the PSN.
Yeah.
I had to buy the Xbox Live membership. I go, I'm out like a good amount of money. And he was like, well, I'll talk to my director, see if we can do anything or whatever. And I said, just curious though. I go, what about I did a video to follow up on that, to talk about, like, you contacted me, and in the end he told me, obviously, like, why they contacted me, because I said, well, is it because I have like 36,000 Twitter followers and I have this much? And he didn't say anything, but he didn't deny it. So I was just like, that's why. And I said, dude, really, man, I don't care, because I can eat it right now, even though I don't like it. But what about the college kid who spent his last $60 to enjoy some video games for next year? What about that kid that really can't afford to do anything but game? And, he was like, oh, and didn't really answer that question. So the funny part was, he called back the next day, left me a voicemail, and he said, what we can do is we can guarantee that your account will be protected. We made a note to guarantee your account will be protected. And I said to myself, and in the video, well, shouldn't you do that for everybody? And shouldn't you have done that in the first place?
Yeah.
Why did it take all this to finally protect my account? They never made mention like, hey, you're someone that's a little bit more known, so you could be a target. They just made it seem like, well, now we're going to make it right and we're going to protect your account.
So that kind of goes into something else. You do two-factor authentication, right?
Always. As a matter of fact, Major Nelson, PlayStation never tweeted me. Major Nelson sent me two tweets within 2 days, which he didn't need to do. The first one was welcome back to Xbox. The second one was to make sure so he must have read my tweet about the problems, because he said, make sure you enable two-factor authentication with your account.
I tell people, I know it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, right? But I tell people all the time, it is necessary, 120% necessary to do two-factor authentication. You have to do two-factor authentication. We see these stories happen all the time. And when we talk about hacking and we talk about things like that, majority of the time, we're not talking about advanced hackers, like what people think. It's mostly, it's social engineering that gets you through. I just had a good friend of mine, her iCloud account get compromised. She's a little bit of a celebrity. She's a musician, and somebody compromised her iCloud. Now, luckily for her, she's smart enough not to keep anything on there. But somebody compromised it, and it's the same exact way that it always happens. 2, 3 in the morning when you're sleeping, someone goes and tries to reset your password. A lot of times, your security passwords are, what's my dog's name? What's my this's name? And people are able to kind of guess it if they know you enough. And if you're somewhat of a known personality, I could kind of guess what your cat's name is and what your dog's name is and put it together. And I reset your password overnight. By the time you catch on at 8, 9 in the morning, guess what has happened? I've grabbed everything.
Yeah, PayPal's a big one too, where PayPal's been pretty good about that. I got a text and a call from PayPal like 2 in the morning once, because someone was trying to do back in the days of World of Warcraft, they were making $50 charges like every 5 minutes.
For what, gold?
I don't know. It wasn't the kind of question I was asking at that point. But you got to be. I guess they weren't that smart, which is great. You're trying to charge $50 every 5 minutes. That's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the end, I just to me, it's first world problems. I said that in the video too. I understand it's in the scope of it, but I like to play a game of Madden here and there. I like to play a game of Madden with my buddy online, and for them to kind of. It speaks on their customer service, because I haven't heard anything bad about Xbox customer service. I've heard them try to really go above and beyond. Sony just kind of really, in my estimation, took a stance of kind of like arrogance, like they didn't really need me, like they didn't really care about the customer. And it sounds like from the comments and also talking to you, that they don't. They really don't.
I think a lot of times, a company like Sony, they get so... I don't know if it's an oversight or it's the fact that we have so many other fires to put out first. We'll get to it later. You know, I had this problem with Verizon. I had a serious problem with Verizon, and I bitched and moaned and complained about their Verizon Messenger. This is a great example. They started installing this Verizon Messenger on every single one of their devices that they sell, right? Have you used it at all?
No.
Okay. So it's called Verizon. It's called Message Plus. It is not a great messaging service at all. Actually, I would say it's probably not one of the better ones. The problem, the pro here is that you could technically have your phone have this message app, and then you could install an application on your Windows, through Chrome, or on the PC, or on your tablet to get all your text messages on one device, or on as many devices as you want. I hate texting on my phone. I love using my computer, and 99% of the time, if I'm at home, my computer's in front of me and my phone is God knows where. So that is the only reason why I use this application, just so I could get my SMS messages on my computer. Well, they broke it on the Mac, right? New version of Mac OS, stopped working, didn't work, the screen would go missing, it would freeze, all this stuff. I sent a message. There were hundreds of negative reviews in the Mac App Store. They did not care. I went on Twitter and I started talking about it. Somebody sent them a link from the show where I'm discussing it with Paul, and guess what happened? Within a day, I got a text back saying, we're working on it, we're working on it. They half-ass fixed it. It's still kind of wonky and doesn't work all the time, but better than nothing, right? But they were aware of this problem for a long time. Probably Sony's aware of it too. They just not a priority yet.
It would go a far way. I know Xbox isn't perfect by any means. I love the fact with Sony, with the PS4, that I could plug any USB headset in there. That I can. It's a lot more open with peripherals than the Xbox, at least in my estimation so far with some of the stuff I've tried. But it seems like Microsoft, especially the Xbox team, tries to get ahead of it. And if Sony just said, "Hey, we're having a problem," or Verizon said, "Whoa, this new Mac OS version broke our app. Give us some time. We're working on it." It would go a long way for people. At least you wouldn't feel so in the dark, like you're doing all the legwork to try to find out what the problem is.
Well, you know what happened? A quick little note before I move on to the next topic. I don't want to bore people too much with this. Suncast and I both had experienced the same exact problem around the same time with Skype. We both almost got locked out of our accounts because it converted over to an MSN account, a Microsoft account.
That happened to me too.
And because it just popped up. It's like, oh, do you want to convert it over? And I wasn't paying attention. I hit next, and it did this whole thing, and I couldn't log back on. It was a very convoluted way I had to get back onto Skype. So even the most technically understanding people do these mistakes, and it happens, and it's a pain in the butt. So I wanted to touch on that. I do have a lot more to talk about, obviously, here. We have so much to get to. Stevie Richards, BWO Stevie on Twitter. Where can people find you?
You just said that. Also, patreon.com/Stevie Richards for all the workout stuff. We switched over to that supporter-based model. Excellent. So we can make it more affordable. Look at you with all these ads, man.
Listen, I got kids to feed.
It's like a real TV show. Like 22 minutes of content and like 8 minutes of commercials.
You want to give me 1 star? Not iTunes.
Oh, did somebody already do that?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? I'm sure someone's not very happy. But you know who is very happy? Me. And my audience, my dedicated audience, the people watching this right now are very happy with Hover. Hover.com/WTT. You get 10% off your first purchase. I want to thank Hover for supporting the show. I've been a domain name collector for many, many years. I think I told you, I have almost 300 domain names at this point.
No, that's news to me.
Yeah.
You're like a hoarder.
I am a hoarder. I'm a domain name hoarder. And I have to tell you, I've sold domain names too. I've sold a bunch of domain names. One of the domain names that I sold, I got $5,000 for.
Wow.
And this has nothing to do with Hover, but somebody offered, they found out that I had it, and they contacted the company, and they reached out, and I sold the domain name. So, but I mostly
you bought more.
And I did buy more.
You bought more after that.
Yeah, I mean, generally, that's one year of my domain name bill, but technically speaking, I have to get it because I have to protect assets that I own, properties that I own. If you own a website, you want to get the website. If you are Stevie Richards, you would like to have StevieRichards.com, but you do not actually. You do not own. Somebody owns it.
I do not own that.
And they're parking it, and they're trying to get money out of you. So if you are doing stuff like this, it is a great idea to spend a couple bucks and get a domain name. And why not do it at Hover? They make it super easy. There's no upsell. They're not going to hit you over the head at the checkout where you're getting 10 different types of things. Private registration is included. So your Whois registration it's private. Nobody sees who owns the domain name, which is a great way to do it. They don't hit you in the head with a business registration fee and this registration fee like some of those other guys. Cut and dry. You go, you buy your domain name, and you're done. Also, they have phenomenal customer service. Right now, if you go to there, I'll show you right now. If you go there, you can look. There's the need help button. I use this all the time. I click on this. I put in my information, and boom, within seconds, somebody's there to help me. I had to transfer a domain name to someone. It took about 5 minutes. I cannot believe how easy it was to transfer a domain name. Unbelievable.
Don't they answer the phone more often than not?
They do.
Like you're never on hold.
Never. I mean, it would have to be. It's rare. I personally have never been on hold with Hover, which is.
I know that was an early thing that they've really promoted, that you're not going to spend time on hold, and that's incredible because it's not Sony. Hire those people, please.
Yeah. I know. Well, these guys know what they're doing, and they're loyal to their following, and they're loyal to their customer base, and that's what really matters with a company, that they will do so much for you and go above and beyond. Hover.com/WTT, get 10% off your first purchase. I want to thank Hover for supporting the show. Let's talk about what you use.
You're not mad that I interrupt your reads, by the way.
Why? No, I love it when you get involved. No, I like the interaction. That they actually prefer it. They tell me
I'm not going to ask for half the ad money, so don't worry.
No. I'll give you a couple plugs. How about that? We'll do some sort of exchange.
That's fine for me.
I have to tell you, I'm a big fan of the way that you shoot, and you've been shooting with a Sony camera to kind of continue on with Sony. Which one is it? The 6300 or the 6100?
No, the 6000. And there's a lot of people talking about the worth of the 6000 or the value, even after all these, I guess, years now it's been out. It's an excellent camera.
Very good camera.
It's only what I shoot my tech reviews with, not the workout videos.
Yeah, the tech reviews, yeah. And they look unbelievable. So I kind of wanted to get your workflow because I'm always interested in what you use and why you use it, because you always change things up. And again, this is the great thing. You're not loyal to a brand. You're loyal to what works for you. And sometimes you outgrow things and you got to move on. So what are you using right now for your tech videos and then your workout videos?
For the tech videos, I use the Sony a6000 because it's a mirrorless camera. It's portable, and it was just affordable. The bundle that I ended up getting with the two kit lenses wasn't that much off Amazon. It was around the holidays a couple of years ago, a year and a half, something like that. And it's just been incredible. The autofocus points were at the time, I think, something like 179 autofocus points for video. So it was excellent to not have that autofocus bug hit while you're trying to move around.
Yeah.
And it does tend to shut down after about 15-20 minutes of video. But what I do is I just plug it into a monitor to use it as my DSLR monitor, and that keeps the camera active for longer.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting those videos, I use a Zoom H1, which, man, I got the H6 here, which I love. I had all sorts of microphones like the Sennheiser Clip Mic Digital and all these other solutions to try to get good audio. The Zoom H1, there's a reason why all these YouTubers and all these people have promoted it for years. It is the gold standard for external audio sync, to get that sync off of one camera or multiple cameras. I got it for $67, and I got the blue one, obviously, you know why. But it was $67 on sale, which is even cheaper than the $99. Still affordable, but $67 is a steal. I use a giant squid lav mic off of Amazon. It's like $59, $52, sometimes up and down. I use that, put it in my pocket, and I'm able to record video and then get great audio no matter how far away I am or if I'm moving around. It's a really great solution. For the on-camera stuff that you see where I'm introing stuff or you see me on camera, I use just your regular lighting off to the side, just one set of lights off to the side on a stand. And I use a ring light, which I'm a big fan of using a ring light.
So I saw that you use it. So what's the benefit of using a ring light? For people who don't know, it's literally a circular light.
Well, a lot of people use it for makeup videos and things like that. It smooths out your skin and makes you look younger, which I need a lot of help at this point. But it really is a one-stop shop lighting solution for when you're doing on cameras. I really do like it, and a lot of people have commented. It just brings out the best of everything about the camera you're using as well. As long as it's in focus, it's just an incredible thing to use. And I paid $140 off of Amazon, including the stand. It's really great. It has a dimmer, which I hardly ever use. I put it on the brightest setting, and it's just really an amazing lighting addition or single lighting solution to using that. So that's my tech stuff. On the workout side, what I do, we'll talk about the lighting. I put the one light stand in the corner, and then I put the ring light up all the way and angle it down from the ceiling just to fill the light in the room when I'm recording the workout videos.
So do you put the camera? Do you put with the ring light? Do you put the camera through it almost?
It actually has a mount, but I don't use the mount. I use the tripod.
Okay.
And you just set the camera up, and the camera shoots through the donut of the ring light, the circle.
Very cool.
So the opening of the ring light, you can put a camera. If you have an ultra wide one, like the cameras I'm about to talk about with the workout videos, it'll see the ring light. But if you have a standard one or the Thrifty 50 lens or something like that, it's going to make it look incredible. And I can't say enough about that. So even if you have a smartphone and you don't have to worry about it showing the sides, like if you have an iPhone and then you can fit it through, you can just put it up on a tripod and shoot right through there. And I know a lot of makeup people do that. They use the iPhone or a smartphone, but that ring light really sweetens up the shot for you.
Very cool. What camera are you using for the workout?
Workouts, you'll be amazed. You've seen the videos, right?
I have. They're great.
I use the LG V20 and the LG G6.
LG V20. Oh, so you're actually using a phone.
The reason why I use these two particular cameras, and I also use a Yi 4K action camera, which is basically half the price of a GoPro, and it's a 4K, but I don't shoot in 4K for the workout videos, but it's a great little camera that has twice the battery life of the GoPro.
So is this a $200 one?
Yes, $199. It has the shutter button, has the screen. It's really, the UI's quick. It's a great action camera. Even if you want to just use it for video blogs or something like that, it's really cool. But the reason why I use the two LG smartphones is because of the wide view. Super wide view, the angle on that. Also, their aperture on video is pretty bright. So adding on with the lighting, it gives the room a really nice, bright environment. And it's just good. I like using them. I mean, LG sent them to me, so I had them. And then, you heard the saying, the best camera you have is the one you have with you.
It's the one with you, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one I have available. So I said, what the hell? I'm going to try it. And this fitness equipment, it looks that good. At least I'm proud to say it does. The fitness equipment company that sent me the cage and all the other stuff, Fitness Reality, they love it. They thought I shot it on like a GH5 or a Canon, 60D.
If I were to pull this up right now, where can I pull it up just to get a little preview of it?
Well, the most recent tech video, actually oh God, I got to think about it because the videos are mostly locked down for the supporters right now, the full videos.
Yeah.
But if you see like, I got to look. I'm sorry. I'll have to put one of those up.
I'm at your website right now. Well, I see a workout. Oh, LG G6. Okay, you did this with the G6. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, this looks great. It's amazing. It's unbelievable, actually. When you think about it, the fact that you're doing this with a phone. This is from March 6th. You're doing this with a phone. And it probably looks better than what most people are able to produce with a camera.
Yeah, the LGs, as far as video and as far as the wide view mode, I won't say altogether better than an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Well, the S8 Plus is much newer, but I just need to get the shot. I'll worry about color grading and all that stuff if I need it at a later time.
Do you do a lot of that? Do you do a lot of
No,
I
don't. I'm starting to get into it because the E4K, the LGs match up pretty well, but the E4K looks a little more flat, even though it's on a different color thing. It's not on flat.
Yeah.
So the content is king. I just want to tell people right now that for me, getting the shot and being able to display the shot, and with workout videos and tech videos, the audio is king. Yeah. If you can't hear my instructions clearly, it doesn't matter if I have the best camera ever. Yeah. So that's why the Zoom H1 on that part is, I use that for the workout videos too. I put it in my shorts in the pocket, and I'm hooked up to the lav mic. So it's real nice to be able to walk around and do that. So this gets back to the 2016 MacBook Pro. So I'm shooting a 20, 25, 40-minute workout video that has a Pro Timer plugin that has the lower thirds, that has a YouTube outro thing with all these animations. And plus, I got 3 cameras I'm plugging into and try and sync it to audio. That's why the Mac Mini started to choke on it a little bit and not export it.
Sure.
It would do some weird things, but you're talking about a computer that's 5 years old trying to handle.
You're also talking about a dual core i7, not a quad core i7.
No, it's quad. That's why I got it. It was the last quad core i7, but still, we're talking about. There's no quick sync, I think, in the 2012 version of that. I don't even think quick sync was around back then. And also the ability, I think it did thermal throttle. It got pretty hot. And this laptop handled all that with like nothing, dude. Like nothing. It was incredible. It's fast. But to me, even more impressive is how cool and how quiet it is over that 25 to 45 minute video load that I'm rendering, trying to cut, and then export. It's really, really impressive.
Yeah, I have the i5. Not the. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is an i7. I have an i7. Sorry.
All the 15 inches are i7s.
Yeah. I have an i7. I have the 2.8 gigahertz i7 here, 16 gigs i7. I totally forgot what I had actually. I really thought this was an i5. I'm so confused right now. Wow, my brain just stopped for a second.
Yeah, 13 inches have i5s and then dual core i7s, which in my estimation, if you're going to do all those upgrades, you're buying a 15-inch anyway, so go for that and get the quad core. There's a big difference for video editing, for any motion, even photo editing. When you're adding all these layers and stuff, I really do think a quad core, you can't upgrade the processor. You can't upgrade anything on this damn laptop. Nothing.
I know. You can't even open it.
At that. So buy whatever you can, and it's changed my mind, and it's not perfect by any means, but I needed a powerful computer.
I needed something that's going to work for you. Listen, that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. Did it work for you? Yes. How well? It worked for me pretty well. Okay, that's what matters.
Well, dude, it was just like this. This is more powerful in a lot of ways at rendering and doing the Final Cut Pro stuff than the 2013 Mac Pro, which is a nightmare, a bigger nightmare than this.
Yeah.
People paid real money for that.
Yeah, which, by the way, like a lot of money.
Yeah, you're not sponsored by a Mac Pro, are you?
I am not sponsored by a Mac Pro. No, they're very expensive. I would love to be sponsored by a Mac Pro at the price tag that they're at. Stevie, listen, we're running out of time, but I do want to record my bonus show with you, and I did want to get your opinion on the Amazon Echo show. Is this overkill? Sure. Is this for everybody? I don't know. I'm curious on your take on this device. Which
is this the bonus show, or you want me to say this now?
No, we're going to the bonus show. We'll do it right after.
Okay.
Where can people find you?
Okay. Well, they can find me here right now if they want to say something.
Right here, right now.
No, don't fight me. I thought you said fight them. I was like, I'm done with that. Unless you got money.
You'll fight for money, though. Yeah.
I fight for money. I've been doing it for 26 years.
26
of course
years.
I do. This cat over here has to eat. You know.
Yeah.
She's gone. No, she's there. All right. She weighs 20 pounds. It's incredible. So at BWO Stevie on Twitter. Also, you can go to StevieRichardsFitness.com. We do have some a la carte fitness stuff coming, but I really do think the best value is Patreon.com/Stevie Richards. $3, you get early access to the videos, but I think the $5 per month supporter model is the best value because we record these videos that we talked about, put them up there. They're HD videos that you get to download and keep for life. So you have complete offline access, and also you get a calendar every month with different workouts, and during the course of the month, audio and video blogs talking about my experiences. Like I'm on a ketogenic diet right now, and I'm experiencing something new, and I want to pass it along. By the way,
so was Paul.
It's amazing. It's pretty amazing. If I can not, I'm so scared I'm going to have a heart attack with all the fat I'm taking in. But supposedly their blood work is great. And, I continue to lose weight and continue to feel better. It's crazy.
Are you looking to drop weight, or what are you looking?
No, I dropped 10.2 without even trying. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to, I'm 45, so I'm trying to lose the stubborn belly fat. I'm trying to lean out, lose body fat. And they say sometimes with this type of diet too that your testosterone can increase. Yeah, in 45, my natural testosterone is starting to go down, so I have to do anything I can. And I'm still wrestling in front of people, so I'm still in an aesthetic business.
Yeah, you're shirtless on a regular basis, so it's not,
Yeah, and the fitness videos. So I wanted to try this out mostly for me, but also for the supporters to see if it's something that would fit their lifestyle and what they like to do, and what you know, with everything. So the site's mostly just organic and growing, and I'm learning as I'm teaching. So it's really cool. So other than that, you can go to the YouTube channel. That's under T4 Show still on the URL, but look up Stevie Richards Tech Reviews, and I'm putting tech stuff up there. I'm actually going to put up a conspiracy podcast that I did last night that I'm going to do regularly.
What's the topic? What's the topic?
The topic was aliens, but with the conspiracy stuff, it ventures off and all. I kept trying to bring it in.
There's nothing I like more than a good conspiracy podcast.
And it was 3 other wrestlers, which makes it an interesting twist.
Do you want to say who it was? Or
Ben Haman.
Okay,
he plays a terrorist. Which I told him may not be the best thing to do right now.
Yeah.
You know him, from New York. Greek God Papadon.
Yeah.
And Big Sal from ECW.
Really? Oh my God, what a nice combo.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. We're going to do it again next week. Will be Mandela Effect.
By the way, that is still one of my favorite podcasts that you did, the Mandela Effect one. I listened to it twice. That's how much I liked it. I was flying to LA and I listened to it and I listened back when I was coming back. So it was actually one of my favorite podcasts that you did.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was a great podcast. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to do our bonus show now. If you're watching live, stay tuned. We're going to continue discussing stuff. If not, go to patreon.com/whatthetech and check us out there. Big thank you to Big Stevie Cool, Stevie Richards.
Thank you.